All right, let's get into it. This is hopefully going to be a quick video. I don't want it to take forever. Just more thoughts on the DVD update in Wesker and then some IRL stuff at the end and some updates. So yesterday streamed for like 4 hours. I thought it was only going to be Survivor, because I thought killer queues were going to be bad. And the queues were actually pretty even. So I was able to go back and forth and get a lot of playtime against Wesker and as Wesker. And it's funny, I just watched a video about how he's like too buggy to be enjoyed. And I kind of found the opposite. There are quite a few bugs, and there were some that I didn't know about that I learned, but he was really fun to play the whole time. And he still seems really powerful. And so once those bugs are ironed out, like, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So the things they changed from the PTB, they narrowed his hitbox a little bit. And so it's harder to hit survivors in certain situations, but you don't run into random obstacles around like you did on PTB. Which is a good change. I didn't notice it too much, which means it's good. It means I was hitting most of my shot. There's a couple times where as killer I felt like I should have hit, and then as survivor it looked like I was out of the way and I got hit, so that was just weird. They need to iron out his hitbox. The video I watched actually had some pretty extreme examples. Other bugs, he has one where he just sometimes doesn't work. You grab the survivor and there's like a bunch of variations. Sometimes they get infected, but they don't take damage even if you slam them or throw them against something. Sometimes they don't get infected. You just like drop them and it's like nothing happened even though you hit them. It's interesting. He has one where he also gets like stuck in animation. This one happened to me once. You grab someone and you just kind of get stuck there, and it's 10 seconds of just sitting there. But yeah, I still think he's really fun and really good. He has some small things that like you don't really think about that actually make him better than other killers. His tear radius, again, if you don't know, he's the first killer with a 40-meter tear radius for some reason, as opposed to 32, who's been the most. And so, I mean, that can be negative, but it also, when I was playing Survivor, you like constantly hear the tear radius. And so you're always kind of on edge, unless it's a big map, obviously. And it just like, there's not really, in my opinion, in the music, there's not much of a difference between like the distant tear radius and when he's close. So it's kind of interesting. He doesn't like down survivors and pick them up that often. Like, he usually slams them into the wall and like is just there immediately on his shoulder, so it can be hard to find where they are. There was a lot of times when I was playing where I'd see someone go down and you should check where it is. You look around and you usually see them on the ground, and it's just hard to find because either they're standing up, which you're not expecting, or they're like already on his shoulder and you just don't see. Just small things like that. There was another one too. I can't think of it. There was another like small thing that not many other killers have. I guess he has decent map mobility, which I didn't know when I did my PTB review, because the dash, he can cover quite a bit of ground if you just let him go immediately. So he actually has some good map mobility there, which is another big thing. One thing they changed is you can actually hit people at pallets and windows now, which for some reason on the PTB just didn't work. Now you go up, and if they're vaulting or getting ready to, you actually do a hit animation and you don't do some weird thing. So yeah, he's really strong, but I was able to do well against him, and there's stuff you can do to counter him. Like, actually, I think this is a pretty fair balanced killer at the moment. We'll see if people get really good, if that changes. But I had a 4-minute chase against Wesker while using, I think I ended up using 3 pallets, but it was really only 2 for most of it. I don't know what that is. So yeah, you can do stuff against him, and he's really fun. Okay, let's try and get going quickly. Other things they changed in the update were a couple perks. His perks were they slightly nerfed Awakened Awareness because of Nurse, which we all could have seen coming. His other ones, Terminus is the same, I think, and I didn't know his vaulting perk just stays active once it's activated, which I didn't know. That's one if a survivor fast vaults in front of you, your next vault is increased by I think 40%. So you get that and then it just stays until your next vault. I thought it went away. So that's it's better than I thought, but I don't think it's that great. Survivor side, hyper focus it can be very scary. I think I did multiple gens under a minute by myself, or about a minute. I timed one for sure and it was a minute, and that was even with at the very end I didn't get a skill check for like a decent amount, considering I get increased odds, like greatly increased odds. So that could have been under a minute, but it was like right there. And I had another one that was pretty much the same. And on one of them, I wasn't using stakeout. I got up to, I think I only got to 5 before the gen was done without stakeout. Well, I got to 5 and then missed. So I was up to 5. So you can build it up without stakeout, but I was using stakeout for the other part, and you can knock out gens pretty quickly. I actually had a game where I feel like that single-handedly won the game, because it wasn't looking good, and I was able to solo a gen in a minute, and then like 2 others finished closely, and he like came with that. I think it won the game. So hyperfocus, it can be really good, but I actually think it's okay the way it is, because if a survivor is utilizing stakeout, hyperfocus, and like other perks to do it generally fast, they're putting their whole build towards that. So I don't think it's really a big issue. It might be an issue if there's a team of 4. That could be an issue. I guess we'll see. I didn't deal with that. I don't play with friends really, so I didn't experience that, but that might be an issue. They nerfed Reassurance, which I don't agree with, because the only reason they nerfed it was because it was possible for teammates to just leave a survivor on hook and kind of what's the word? Just hold them hostage on the hook, which sounds like a problem, but I actually didn't really think it was, because if survivors are doing that, that just means the killer's going to get them and win the game quicker. And so it's like, it's not a real thing. It sucks for the survivor, I guess, but then at least he knows, like, oh, well, they're not doing anything to win. They're not trying, like, whatever. It's not a big deal. And so against killers, against the Bubba that's face camping, it's not as good, which is what it was needed for. I still think it's really strong. I have a perfect example. There was a game on Haddonfield against, I think 3 of them were together at least, and they did 3 gens. It had to have been 80 seconds. I should have went back and looked, but I guess they could have had hyper focus. But like I had 1 hook, and they had done 3 gens, and she was in the middle, and I could see all of them. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, if one of them makes a move, we can trade. And I got Reassurance twice, so the person just sat on hook for forever, and I actually ended up doing a little better than it sounds like I should have, but that killed me. So it can be really good. They also slightly buffed her better than new perk. Actually, they buffed all 3 of hers. It just is now until you're injured, which is a no-brainer, and I think they boosted the numbers up a little bit. The last perk they did was... Her last perk is the one where you're the last one. If you're the last... if you're the last survivor in the trial, you don't have, like, scratch mark, blood, sound, and everything. This time it's if you're the last one alive. So that's actually a nice little buff. That way, if your teammates are all dead, you can utilize it instead of just being the last survivor left. Ada's perks, I don't think they got changed. Wiretap's the same. The healing one's the same. And I can't think of the other, which is a problem. One thing they did do, which I don't agree with at all is they nerfed Blast Mine. Just, I think because it didn't work with wiretap so well or something. But so now it's only one-time use. You put it on, if the killer doesn't kick it, it just goes away. Like, that was a perk that didn't need to be nerfed, which it was for no reason. I also think they just made Medal of Man back to what it was, which, again, nerfs it from what it was. It was like, the history of Medal of Man was like, the best perk in the game, still good. The worst perk, like one of the worst perks in the game. They made it good for a day, then changed it so it was really bad again, and then they said they were going to change it back so it was going to be good, and now it's just back to bad. So that's this or that. Her last perk. Oh, low profile is hers. That's the one where you're the last survivor. Okay, what's Rebecca's last one? So yeah, low profile is hers actually, which again is whatever. So reassurance, better than new and hyper focus. There's my food. I'm missing a perk here. Wiretap, reactive healing. Maybe I talked about them all and I'm just dumb and don't realize. Okay, I gotta go get my food, but really quick. We're almost, oh, I got my life stuff. Yeah, it'll be quick. The map changes, they remove some of the palettes, so there's less, but there's still quite a bit of really good stuff, and it's kind of hard to navigate. It's easy to hide. I don't know. We'll have to play longer on that to see. The blood point changes. Everything now costs less in the blood web, which is fantastic. And they added the bonuses for whatever side needs it. I don't remember what they call it. That is great. It kind of seemed like it was working. Like I said, I thought last night it was going to be everyone was going to play killer because that's what it was all day. So I started and the survivor bonus was 100%. I saw it drop down to 50 at one point and then back to 100. But the queue times were like, it was instant on survivor and it was like 15 seconds on killer. So I don't know if it was really working fully as intended, but that's a good change too. There was some really cool skins in it and the characters have voice lines, which I guess is cool. It's only in the lobby, so I don't care, except Wesker's in the game, which is fun when he talks. So yeah, great chapter DVD. That's all I'm going to say about that. And now we're just going to kind of go into what we're going to do on this and a little life update. I am moving from here in 2 days. I'll be in a basement apartment somewhere, which I think will be much better. My only problem right now is I hope the internet is good. It should be. If not, I might struggle streaming, but I mean, uploading YouTube videos won't be bad, which is where we come in. I was racking my brain with what I want to do. I've really wanted to like try YouTube and enjoy it. I enjoy editing videos when I'm done. But I just haven't felt the urge, and I've always played games that take up a lot of time. And so if there's a new game, I just never feel like I have the time or anything. And so speaking of that, the new 2K is coming out in a week. And I played this year's version for a couple months, like really hardcore, and then I just kind of had an epiphany, like, no. And so I stopped. But then I played MLB The Show, which is on right here, which again takes up a lot of time. And I just last week I was kind of like, okay, you know what? We're done. We're not going to play those. That way we can play whatever we want. We can work on a lot of stuff. And then the 2K news came out, and they don't have contracts anymore, which is a big thing. And I was like, okay, I actually kind of want to try that out. There's like some new modes and stuff too, which would be fun. It's better for single player, which should be good. And so I was actually going to get it. And then I actually just decided again, like, no, we're not going to get into a game that takes up so much of our time that I can't really make content on. Because I'm gonna try to make some good YouTube content, stream a lot. I got this yesterday on kind of a whim. My friend actually, it was funny. I was literally thinking of like I really want to try YouTube and streaming more. And then my friend, my best friend, she started streaming like a week ago, kind of out of the blue with like a really good setup and production value and stuff. And it made me jealous, I guess. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to try this because it's something I enjoy doing and I want to see. I just want to try it for a bit. And now I'm moving to a new place. And it's like, this is a good time to start. So, like, I have like 5 videos planned right now. 4 plus more. I'm going to try and stream more. I'll have to figure out some way to do that. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to make some good content. I'm proud of my Cuphead video. I really am. I think like my Corey videos were just they're just the playthrough, which is fine. These videos where I just talk about DVD, I enjoy making, even though I talk too long. I can get better at that. But then I'm gonna try doing some fun stuff. So yeah, with that though. So here's the situation. I'm moving in a couple days. It probably won't take me get that long to get set up, but it's probably gonna take me some time to get like stream set up and everything and a lot of stuff. And then I'm going on a week-long trip in 2 weeks from now, about a week and a half, actually. That's a lot closer than you would think. And so I'll be gone for a week. And so I don't know if I'm really going to start trying stuff until then. So this channel might be kind of dead for a little bit, but after September, at the end of September, we'll be rolling. I'll just say that. I'll give myself plenty of time. We're going to be rolling. We're going to be doing some good streams. It's the same name, Swagballer18 on Twitch. I'd appreciate anyone to come hang out. I love talking to people. That's where I'm my funniest. I think I got everything. I got to eat my Jimmy John's now. Thanks for watching. This DLC was fun, and I'm going to kill it on YouTube. Peace out.